see what's going on. And the fact that you are producing so much and putting so much out, I mean, obviously it's still going, but you got to understand, I think there are a lot of other people who would love to know what the formula is. How is it that you guys were able to put something together that was so timeless that the songs even now are relevant? It's still current.
You know, I have to say, you know, we aren't anything without the creator's guidance, you know, and you know, a lot of people don't really, you know, give a strong acknowledgement to that, but that's fact. I remember watching an interview with Mick Jagger, and he was just saying, you know what, we were lucky, you know, and to see someone who, you know, a group like the Rolling Stones who've been making music for 50 years to say, like, oh, we were lucky. I understand that, you know, so it's, you know, definitely the creator, but I think, you know, you put the right fellas in the room at the right time. You know, there was so much happening musically when we came into it. It was like such a shift from the James Brown samples and just the, you know, I think I like to attribute it to like groups like Boogie Down Productions and Public Enemy, the content of, you know, pointing out the struggles that were occurring in our communities, and, you know, somewhat being revolutionary and stepping up from just, you know, the hip-hop, the bebop, the Scooby Doo, or guess what, you know, I mean, that was cool and it was melodic, but the content became a bit more serious. And we were kind of like, you know, kids growing up with that sort of content. It helped, you know, spark our consciousness and our awareness of you know, this Afrocentric, you know, being more communal, you know, being a bit more conscious and mindful to what was going on around us socially.
Absolutely.
I think we just kind of like we came in a time period where there was a great change. You know, the drugs were plaguing, crack was brand new, you know, so it was just all these things that was breaking the communities down, but still there was a feeling, a need for, I want to say fairness, you know, peace, respect. You know, you were 15 and you weren't sure if you were going to make it to see the age of 19, similar to how things are now. But I think we came in a time period where the mainstream was willing to hear something of some serious content and to buy into that. So I think there are a lot of scenarios.
Scenarios. Interesting choice of word.
Throw that in there, you know?
Yeah. No, but I think that's exactly it. I think that people who came up in that era listening to those messages are the people who are very unhappy with a lot of what they hear now, but that's because, you know, and those are going to be, you know, the ones that are die-hard Tribe fans, or, you know, Black Thought, The Roots, and all that kind of stuff as well, because you're speaking on things that they don't want to see happening anymore, and they don't want to, you know, they don't want to accept that anymore because, you know, you're programmed 1989. I don't care what you might discuss happening in 1989. Anytime somebody says that year, the first thing I hear in my mind is a playback of Chuck D. I mean, that's just me. So it's definitely something that I've always thought, there was something different. You, the Jungle Brothers, De La, I mean, that whole clique.
I think because we were able to, you know, pretty much take the spirit of what Chuck was delivering, but it wasn't so threatening.
Right.
It was a bit more, you know, we were a bit more light with it.
Yes.
You know? And then Q-Tip, he's very witty and he's fun-spirited, and you know, so there's a playfulness in the music, and then there's also we retain the roots of hip hop with the throwback and the routines that Q-Tip and Phife would do. So, you know, we had a lot of elements that were familiar, but at the same time brand new.
Wow.
It all came together.
Well, I definitely say on behalf of everybody I know.
Yeah.
And a lot of the people that are sending me messages right now, thank God that you all stayed around. We're all happy that you still are getting together. I know everybody can't go to Rock the Bells, and I feel very sad for them. And
yeah, so do I, especially this year, because we did it in 2008, and it was like, it was pretty special. And this year, I mean, it's a great lineup of people, but there are only 4 cities, and I mean, that's a testament of the time period that we're in economically. Like, everyone is having a difficult time, but
right.
I would love to, have at least maybe 10, 12 cities on that tour. But at the same time, since it's only 4 cities, that means that, God willing, there will be another opportunity for, us to come and do it in another forum.
Maybe y'all could even do something like, if you all 3 end up doing the solo albums, you never know. Maybe you all go on tour together and be like New Edition. Have you ever seen a New Edition concert before? They come out, they do New Edition stuff, and then they break up and do their solo stuff, and then they come back together.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, I don't know about all that.
I don't know how that would work out. You never know, though. I'm gonna be optimistic. It might be the best, greatest thing ever seen.
Hey, it could be. So you just gotta try it out, see how I do.
Well, of course, I'm just talking about the show. I didn't think about everything else that goes along with that whole situation. It just depends. I don't know. Yeah. Well, again, I thank you so very, very much for calling in. I cannot express my thanks enough. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You called.
You're welcome. God, when are you going to finish your stuff, though?
Okay, we're going to have this.
You can't fade me like that. I'll start a mob and get them to come up to your area. But I just want to know when am I going to hear some more music from you.
Wow.
Yeah, put the pressure on.
Put you out there.
Wow. That thing that I never discuss on the air, ever.
Wow.
Oh.
Here we go. Little did some people know.
Ooh,
there are some things going on that there are some definite things happening right now, and
okay.
I will talk to you about those things very soon. Very, very soon, I promise, because we're not having this discussion on the air again. Well, it's funny because I was telling somebody earlier, I said, I wonder, did I mention that I don't, no, because people who know me from the good old MySpace days and whatnot, that's a completely different realm than here. I decided basically that artists that were having such a hard time being heard, they deserved a platform, and if I was able to help supply that, that's a movement that's a whole lot bigger than me. And it was something that I wanted to attempt, and I'm very happy and very excited that some really good things are happening. It seems maybe as being a piece of that puzzle for some people. So that's where I am right now, and yeah.
I gave you the philanthropist answer. I understand and accept that. I'm not in any way trying to say that response was not cool. It was super cool. I'm happy that you have this platform for the artists who don't get, heard. And also, let me just say that you're a really excellent interviewer.
Thank
that
you.
That aside, I'm saying, when you gonna finish up the stuff, man? I'm going to leave you alone on that. I just had to mess with you.
We'll talk very, very, very soon. Now, look, this is going to be a whole new discussion when I get out there. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, we ain't talking about all that, right?
Didn't you say that?
Yeah, well, no, I know a certain somebody who just got off the air a little while ago is going to give me a talking to. You mean he knew about it? Like, yes, he did, and that's how we met. All right.
You have to understand my position. Like, let me be a fan of yours for a moment. It's like when people reach out to you and, you feel like I felt what you were doing, it's like you want to see that grow into something. You know what I mean? So I'm just sitting here waiting to see. You don't want your children to just like fade off. Nah, you do well.
But you said I dropped out, huh? Okay.
Wow.